This is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, where we talk about real life real estate situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. And being that we late, I'm still not going to take away from who you are, man. You some like one or two people in here might not know who you are, but I really got to tell the folks who you are. Especially who you are, not just in the marketplace, but I feel like this is a little more personal for me because you've done some amazing things, man, that I have admired from afar, and I always watch what you do. I always keep up with you. I'm like, they always say if you want to get to a better place, follow the people that's where you want to go. So I definitely keep track of you, Mr. Felder, man, and I thank you and I appreciate you. Please forgive me for all these technical difficulties that we had today. We had to switch platforms to even make it happen. But I appreciate you being on with us today, and I appreciate you sharing with us today what you got going on. I think I did something else. Hold on. It looks like I don't know how this happened. All right, yeah, we got one more thing we got to fix because it is telling me that we are on by ourselves, and we can't have that.
No, sir.
Okay, yeah, so we got to fix that. All right, I think we are. Yeah, I think we're good now. So, man, this technology is trying to take away from our greatness, man, but we will not allow that to happen. So again, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for just doing what you do, man. Being a man of integrity, a man of God, of course. A man of many hats. I was doing a little bit. So there's certain folks that come on the show, man, that because of the things that you've done and the things that you've accomplished, I couldn't just bring you on and give you like a small byline to say this is who he is and then move on to the next thing. I truly, like I said again, for the folks that are watching, the folks that are joining us, I truly admire what you do. I'm a mentee from afar, whether you know it or not. You look, for as much as I follow you and for as much as the advice you give me and the things that I listen to, I'm expecting an invoice sometime soon. So
not coming, man. It's not coming. You fan.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So that absolutely means a lot, man. So 5-time best-selling author, man. I want to get into a whole bunch of stuff, man, today, but I'll give you as much time as you need to tell the folks who you are, because I'll take up the whole show telling people how great you are. So I'm gonna give you your time to shine, and I'm gonna sit back and again take notes, and then I'll come back in and get into the questions that I got for you.
Hey, Glenn, thank you so much for having me on the show, man. I'm thrilled. I've been waiting in the cut, man, for about 24 months waiting, man.
I know, man. I know.
Hey, listen, watching the greats coming here, man, and lay it down. I'm here today. Listen, there's no better time. There's no better time for me to be in the building with you. They say in the scriptures, for such a time as this. This
absolutely
right now was meant for us to be, man. Technology issues be damned, right?
That's right.
If we were
That's
in
right.
tsunami, if we were in a Florida hurricane, I'm still coming in like this, right? Hey, I'm a city boy from New York City. This is, some of you guys may call us Wakanda, but people that really know, it's from the Bronx, the South Bronx, the South Bronx. Listen, man. I'm so thrilled, man, because to sit down with you, someone who's making it happen, Glenn, who's all about entrepreneurship, who's taking people from what do young people say, from the mud up,
right?
That's what it's about, man. So, Glenn, as you say, I'm an author, a publisher. We created cartoons. We had a podcast that was doing 1 million downloads a week, but all of that was just to get maybe one person's attention, right?
Yes,
to help give one person the blueprint, which we are going to share today. How about that?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I've been a commercial lender. I've been a hard money lender. I've been a real estate investor. At one time, we had 70 properties in Florida. We finance hotels, shopping centers, apartment complexes, right? And we finance businesses, right? We help people buy them. We're numbers people, and everything we do is value added. If you do nothing else today, Glenn, I want your audience to focus on two words: value added. That's what you should be today. You should be a
Wow.
value added investor. Listen, Glenn, if you don't mind, I think I put something on Facebook just a little bit a while ago. And this is
Uh,
one quote, if we could jump off. It says, victorious warriors win first, then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win.
whoa. Whoa.
Yo, I'm gonna say it again. Victorious warriors win first, then go to war. While defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Like in this market right now, we have opportunities hiding in plain sight. Everywhere you go, there's an opportunity. But too many of us are blind to those opportunities, Glenn. I'm telling you right now, I've been in this business for over 25 years. And I'm telling you, like I know people who made hundreds of millions of dollars during 2008. 2009, 2010, while
Mm,
people are diving out. Listen, Warren Buffett says when everyone's going one direction, he goes in the opposite direction. Now is the
mm.
time for you guys to be aggressive and buy. I, I'm not just saying give them full value. Everything you should buy should be value added. Everything you should be getting in the next, listen, the next 7 weeks to set the trajectory for your next 7 years of wealth, Glenn.
Wow.
If you can't do it in this market, get out. Hang
Wow.
up. Right? It's so much opportunity. I have guys calling me today saying, listen, take over my property. Everything I have, just take it over. I had a guy 2 weeks ago say, hey, if you can make up 3 payments, you can take my property. It has $100,000 in equity. What I'm telling every financially astute investor, every savvy investor, every guru, get liquid and get the business of finding opportunities. We talk about London Bridge is falling down. We want people, that's falling down. Like here is a blueprint for us to make money. Glenn, do you remember 2008? Do you realize
Sure.
during that crisis there were dozens of hedge funds, Glenn, spending upward of $100 million a week.
Wow.
$100 million a week, right? Multiples of them, right? Spending
Yes.
that much a week for 36 months. Bro, they bought us out. Locked back is
Yes. Yes.
gone.
I
Like they
remember.
were on a buying spree, right? That should have been you, Glenn.
You're right.
That we should have been set up for life. And so a lot of my partners were set up for life. And I want to dig deep right now into that, right?
Hmm.
And I heard something this morning, Glenn's ridiculous. The biggest risk, write this down, people. The biggest risk right now to take is not acting.
Wow. That was
The
the mistake
biggest
I
risk
made.
in this market today is not acting. I wrote this on my Facebook page. So check this out, Glenn. If I said to you, I have $100,000 Bentley, we go pull up and grab a Bentley, right, for $100,000, or if it's worth $100,000. If I said to you, Glenn, if you give me $10,000, how quickly would you be able to come up with that?
Man, look, in
Right?
the next in
Or,
the
or
next
check this out.
hour.
Watch this. If I said I have a 20-unit apartment complex for $20,000, how quickly would you be able to come up with that money?
Like in the next hour, 45 minutes.
Exactly. So what I'm telling every listener today, do not be hoodwinked, right? Like there's
Wow.
money chasing opportunity, right? There's guys with cash today, just waiting for you to say, hey, I would love to joint venture. I have this at a value. Do you want to partner? That's
Wow.
it,
Wow.
right? I know guys who made over 100. 2 weeks ago, Glenn, you and I talked about it. There was,
Hmm.
if you have a blueprint, right?
Yes.
If you have a blueprint, you will find out that in the midst of chaos, in the midst of mayhem, in the midst of madness, people are making money,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
There was a
Absolutely.
hedge fund manager, Glenn, 2 weeks ago. He was a savvy guy. He had been through the storms before. Watch this. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
He doubled down. He quadrupled down on his bet in the stock market. He invested $27 million. He doubled down he hedged his bet. He was an expert. He put down $27 million. Glenn, that's it. And 2 weeks later, do you know when he cashed out? You know how much it was worth? $2.6 billion.
Wow.
$1 billion. That's in the market. The only thing he had over you is he had a blueprint in the stock market. When things go haywire, he went buying. He protected. Watch this. He hedged his bet. To you, everyone investing, whether it's multifamily, whether it's single family, whether it's duplexes, quads, I need you to quadruple down right now and to begin to take action. Because over the next 7 weeks, you're going to have, Glenn, can I tell you?
Man,
you're going to have hard money lenders, the same guys who are funding you, pulling out their hair saying, please take this off my lap, right?
Wow.
For pennies on the dollar. They're going to be community banks, right? Like, for example, one of my interns, they bought in 2010, they bought a hotel for $3 million. They rehabbed it, went up 5 levels. It was on the water and sold it for $33 million, right?
Wow.
Simple thing. Value added. Everything's a value add. Banks were giving stuff away. I had another intern during 2011 bought a $100 million hotel for $25 million in cash. He sold it 2 years later for $200 million.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Like they're really smart people, Glenn, who are gonna lose their shirt. There was a hotel built in the Revel in Atlantic City. It was built for $2.4 billion, Glenn. When it opened its doors 2 years later, they filed bankruptcy. And it sold for, I think, $50-something million. Are you getting me? There's really smart people are going to lose a lot of money, right? And if you can raise capital, and if you understand value, you win. You win. So I'm open to asking specific questions or how about doing deal, whether it's buying the business, Glenn, or right now we are financing people. Right now, I did 15 deals last week, right? Refinancing real estate investors who have equity in properties. I'm telling all my people, get liquid. Get liquid.
So that brings me into, I knew you was gonna come over here, drop bombs, man. And listen, I'm always in awe when I have a conversation with you, man. Just keeping it all the way 100. So I want to kind of scale it a little bit, right? Because now you're talking some major stuff, right? You're talking some major stuff, and that couldn't be more ideal for real life real estate investing than anything else. You know what I mean? That's real life real estate investing, what you're talking about. So for some of the people in the audience that may watch this, and they're probably in the first couple of sentences that you started with, you probably blew their minds. For the regular person, now of course it takes having some knowledge and having some connections and things like that. For the regular person, we'll say, I'm a wholesaler. I'm just a wholesaler. I'm in the game, but I'm not hitting threes from half court, right? I'm hitting a lot of layups. So if I'm in the game and I get to play, but I'm only hitting layups, how do I get in position to shoot those half court shots that you're talking about, where we're talking about, multiple 7, 8-figure deals? How do I do that? How do I get to that position?
One thing is Glenn, check this out. I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not a country boy. I don't fish. But listen, you would never be able to swim with the sharks in your backyard with some fishing, with some bait on, right? You're never going to get it, right? It's a little pond. It's an inch of water. And we're thinking, listen, I'm going to eat good. I'm going fishing. You got the hat. You got I don't know about the bait, tap of the hole. You getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, tiptoeing out the house in the backyard, talking about we fishing. We about to eat. Yo, swim with the sharks are. So the first thing, we're the sharks. We're the cash guys that who are partner. Because right now, if someone brings me something of value, I will get the money for them, right? I don't want to deal with pennies, but literally, if you could show anybody how to make money, they're going to get in bed with you. They're going to partner with you. Glenn, one thing I've talked about for the last 2 years is called joint venturing versus just complaining. There's plenty of money.
Wow.
So when you pitch me, Glenn, don't pitch a whole lot of crap. What am I buying, and how much am I going to make money on? Like, how do I get in the deal, and how do I get out the deal? What is my exit strategy?
Right.
Right? Is it cash flowing? What, is it a 1 year plan, 2 year plan? What is it that we're looking for, and how much money am I getting? Like, you can't go to Big Mama and say, hey, let me get $100, baby, especially in this market. How am I going to get my money back?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Crystal clear. Yeah, I remember one time. You remember Popeye the Sailor Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was this cat named Jay Wellington Wimpy. You guys know him, right? Jay Wellington Wimpy, right?
Right.
And he said, "I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today." You know, he had that gig going for 35 years, man. He never came back in, right? He never came back in on that Tuesday, and that's how many of us are. We never repay, and all we are a lot of times is smoke and mirrors, right? So the first thing is, if you could show an investor how they can make money with you, they have cash. It's not a shortage of cash. It's a shortage of opportunity, a shortage of vision, and a shortage of ingenuity, but it's not a shortage of opportunity. Like, people literally are going to be giving away property. You just have to be in position, and you're going to have to be able to find cash buyers. What are you looking for, sir? Right? What are you looking for? Right? Is it multifamily? Is it a chain of restaurants that we can buy right now for pennies on a dollar? Right? What can we buy right now? Is there a retail plaza who may never come back to life? What can we buy right now? What can we find as cash investors? I mean, if we're looking for a $1,200 stimulus package, or we're 1099 or self-employed, and we're waiting on a $600 a week, unemployment check we could find, we're already losing, right? There's so much massive wealth. Like, if you come to me and say, hey, I have a $200,000 opportunity, I'm in. Like, I'll get the money for you, right? So, but be crystal clear when you come to somebody. This is what we're buying. We're buying it at this discount, and if we sell it a month from now, a week from now, such and such. Know your comps. Know in the down market. When someone comes to me, Glenn, I don't have time to research it. I need a detailed package. I need a one-page executive summary, right? And we teach that in one of my books. So you're saying, hey, I'm buying this. Like, I want pictures. I want everything in a one tight summary. So when I look at it within 30 seconds, I'm yeah and nay. And then you get me excited. You can't propose to me right on day one. No, like, get me excited. Hey, show me what the one-page summary looks like, and then say, this is how we get in, this is how we get out. People have money right now. Like, literally, like, we are lending. 90% of people are out right now, Glenn. We're still doing money. We closed. We closed a $400,000 deal for. I don't do residential, but we did one yesterday for somebody, right? I just, again, 3 weeks ago, I did 15 deals, right? I got a guy right now who are doing, all he needs is 2 months bank statements, Glenn, and a score minimum of 550, and we can do 75% loan to value on any rental property.
Wait.
What are you talking about?
You said now that might perk the ears of some of the folks that might watch. Not saying anything about anybody who's watching with the credit score, but you said 550, 2 months bank statements, and they'll do 75% LTV.
Yes, any investor. So, and I tell you to get liquid, because there's going to be opportunities hiding in plain sight that people are going to want to get out. Like, right now, this market's about to crash. I'm not saying do it right now, but start to refinance your properties. Reach out to myself, Glenn, other people who can get you liquid. And then on top of it, make sure you still have a tenant in it, of course, right?
Definitely.
Matter of fact, we're even doing 75% on purchase for rehab and 100% of the rehab cost, which before that, we're still doing 100. I could probably still get upward of 90 to 95%. It's okay, right? But listen, guys, don't ask me about rate. Don't be rate sensitive right now in this market.
Not at all.
So when you ask me about rate, I know you're not astute. Joe, you should be saying, can I get the deal done, and know how much money you're going to make on the deal? That's it. So if you can make $1 million on the deal, why you ask me about rate?
Right.
So you ask somebody about rate.
So help the folks understand what you mean by rate sensitive, because I think that's a especially now, that's going to be something that gets lost in the conversation because people have been pacified for so long, and they probably have missed that. There's, although the rates have been fluctuating, they've been pacified with low rates for so long, and then the Fed came out and said rates are low, this, that, and the other. Can you help folks understand the difference, the opportunity cost for one, and help folks understand what it means to be rate sensitive and why they should get over that?
Watch this. If someone told you right now, I have 4% money out there, right? You get excited. But what if they're not lending at all? That's nothing, right? So it's a structure of the deal. So are they lending? Yes, right? So it's all about, everything you do in life should be about deal structure, right?
Yeah.
If I say, Glenn, I'm gonna charge you 30% interest, you're gonna say that's too much. What if I say you can make $1 million? That's even better. What if I say that you don't have to pay anything up front and you don't have to pay until we close, until you sell the property? That's what? Deal structure.
Right.
What if they say you could be my joint venture partner and we dive in it together and you don't have any pay? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Never get confused with the payment right now. It should be about structure. That's the first thing, right? If I'm making money on the deal, it's some money versus no money. I'm taking the some money, right?
Absolutely.
So with that said, we will try to get you the best rate on the deal, but the most important thing is getting the deal. And if you have a good profit margin, that should be the most important thing. And then if you don't have to pay until afterwards, or if you don't have to pay until you refinance or bridge loans, whatever it takes to get these deals where you can get the pennies on the dollar, that's kind of what you want to do. That's what you want to do. 3 months ago, I did 100% financing for a first-time investor. We did a 10-unit. It was actually in North Carolina, Glenn. We did 100% of the acquisition. Then we added about $300,000 in rehab costs, and we had an after repair value of maybe about 1.6 or something like that. So he was no money in. And his property was already fully occupied. But watch this. He would have taken that deal at what most people, we got him that deal at maybe 10, 12%, right? He wasn't too happy with it, with the rate right now, but his property was fully occupied. So he's taking his time renovating it. All of his payments are going from the existing tenant. And the beautiful thing, he's got about what? $800,000 in profit. Who cares what the rate was, bro? $800,000. That's $800,000, right?
Absolutely.
And so you divide. So at the end of the day, Glenn, it's, can I get into a deal and does it make sense?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So next question, brother. I mean, if there are any questions out there, how to structure a deal, like one thing I would do, Glenn, if I was a novice, I would figure out, find me 5 hard money lenders, small hard money lenders who need to be liquid, and say, hey, I have a cash buyer that's willing to take anything off your table right now. Guys, that's $1 million strategy I'm giving to you for absolutely free.
Man, listen,
how about that, man?
You just gave up some great, and I don't think people get it. You said find a cash buyer and connect them with a hard money lender who has property that they're obviously going to have to dump, right? You know what I mean? And buy them at a discount because they have to get liquid.
Listen, you don't have to be the smartest person. You just have to be a connector, Glenn. And so, I lost $100 million last time in the market. Crazy, right? Watch this. I was able to beat out 10 other hedge funds to win a $5 billion portfolio. Me,
wow.
Right? I'm a bad dude. Like, I've been lending when I was 23 years old. I was traveling around the country, right, teaching commercial lenders how to structure a large deal. So yeah, wow. I was kind of nice with it, right? But here's the thing. I was able to convince one of the largest hedge funds to let me, I had exclusive right for 90 days to buy anything in their portfolio, right? Wow. Why can't you do that? So wow. Watch this. Because I was not able to structure, it took me 6 months to work on that deal, but I brought in one person to do the funding. I'm used to do the funding, but I couldn't knock down the $5 billion, the acquisition and the pricing. So I brought in a liquid guy, right?
Right.
And this guy could not execute.
Wow.
He could not execute, right? So I lost $100 million. Crazy, right?
Wow.
But if I could pull that off, why can't you pull off a $200,000 deal or $1 million deal, $10 million deal, right? But you want to have multiple cash buyers, multiple investors lined up. Don't be like Eddie back in the days, right?
Yeah.
Because those opportunities are there. Like this was one of I beat out many Wall Street firms for this here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be persistent. You got to know what you want, and you got to have a money guy. My money guy backed out, so we lost out. I told somebody this story the other day. He laughed at me, and he said, "Eddie, you're thinking entirely too small, right? You think entirely too small." He said, "Yo, you should be making a minimum of 500 million to $1 billion in this market right now.
Whoa.
Think big,
Whoa.
like think big. Like if you go outside right now, almost every retail plaza is vacant.
Yeah.
Guys are not going to be able to bounce back. You should be talking to cash buyers right now. If we could buy this at hit, you should be going to public records saying they have a mortgage of this amount. They can't sustain it, right?
Wow.
Come in with some guys to make some money.
So
Right.
so here's where now I bring a lot of folks on, and we share some amazing information. Man, you dropping jewels right now. You dropping jewels right now. So that Cash App, that real life real estate Cash App is in here somewhere. So for this information, we're gonna have to make a donation to Mr. Felder for the day. So for those of y'all that are watching, go ahead and hit that Cash App so we can at least contribute something for the information that he's offering for us today. Man,
buy a book, like buy a book, right?
Definitely. And I want to get into that. Man. But you dropping some amazing jewels, and I got a couple folks that have joined us. That Beatrice Cleaver, which is my wife, says people are looking at residential mortgage rates because they're not investors. And then she said it's about the bottom line when you talked about how people should get over the rate and being so rate sensitive and things like that, because people don't look at the bottom line. People look at the cost of money, but they don't look at the return on the investment that they're going to be able to, achieve in that. But one other thing, man, listen, I can't wait to get to you've given so much information now, because I got your whole bio here. I got questions to ask about, but I think I might be, I probably could, assume that the folks that are watching will want to hear some more of the information that you're talking about as it relates to, being a connector and doing deal structure. So from a what do you see in terms of, now you gave us a whole bunch of game on what we should be doing and the things that we should be paying attention to. So as a result of this whole scenario and crisis that we're dealing with now, what do you foresee happening in the market? Like, I mean, I know you gave us a little bit of that, but what's your overall forecast, if you will, of what we should be expecting coming in the next 6 to 9 months?
Mayhem and madness and millions. Yeah, like everyone should be making millions as a real estate investor, right? Like, and let me go back to something else. I love what your wife said, but listen, we cannot be rate smart and deal empty, right? We cannot be rate smart and deal empty.
Right. That's why you're a 5-time best-selling author, because you amazing with words, bro.
Yeah, I got that from you. I write down things, but it's not so much writing down, like action, right?
Yes.
So, for example, can I give somebody, everyone, forget the signs. Like, we had a strategy of everyone going out dropping signs on the bandit signs. Go create today a meetup.com.
Mm-hmm.
People looking to sell property. I want to buy your apartment.com, and create that as a meetup, and have everyone around them and start meeting up. How do you buy commercial property? How do you buy apartments? If you're looking to dump properties, right? That's it. Start a group on how to buy restaurants, wholesale restaurants in this market, and you get everyone just in there having a conversation every day, right?
Yeah.
When you join the meetup.com, it goes out to 1 million people. Everyone is online right now. You got a captive audience. Like everyone is playing around in the playground, which is Facebook. Why are we not doing this in LinkedIn? Like, that is where all of those guys got money. Yo, please believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. There's a lot of guys who making lots of money who's waiting for an opportunity. And shame on you if you're not pitching them and finding them to be your partner. Wow. Deals that was being pitched a few weeks ago, literally people gonna be handing it to you. I would go to Craigslist and say, hey, I'm a multifamily buyer, or I'm buying in this area, and be like, have a credibility kit, have a website, invest $150 and buy a website and say, my team and I are looking to buy.
Whoa.
My team and I are looking to buy, right? Like I have lenders right now. Can I tell you something, Glenn? I have a lender right now. They charge 10 points on the front and 10 points on the back, right? Watch this, 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 watch this. They will finance 50% of the acquisition price, and if you can get the owner, the seller, to finance 50% of the selling price. So basically, saying we can fund your whole deal. So what? You give them 20%. But if you're making $1 million, or if it's $200,000, so what? You give somebody 20,000, you keep 80.
Wow. Wow. And now for something like that, now are we talking about a rehab loan? Is that something they would do the 100% of the rehab, or are we just talking about an acquisition?
That's on the acquisition right now. So those guys are saying, hey, right now. But if you also look at the acquisitions, Glenn, it's still a decent market to do acquisition if you buy right, you buy smart, right? Because what do they take? 8 months? Yeah, we'll be out this thing.
Yeah,
we'll be out this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But
and even that. So here's another thing, Glenn. You win when you buy. You monetize when you sell or refinance.
Right.
Work with me. You win when you buy. Like there's people right now who got to get out. Like a lot of these landlords not getting rent, Airbnb. People who own Airbnbs, like, listen, I would start advertising. Are you sick and tired of your Airbnb business? Let me take over. Let me buy your property now, right? Listen, check this out. Let me take over your Airbnb practice. You know how many people, like, yo, you just have to have, 3 or 4 months worth of money, take over their practice, take over their master lease, and you take over what they were doing. I know people right now doing $50,000, or were formerly doing $50,000 a month in Airbnb with 2 properties in Buckhead.
Wow.
What if I pitched them? Hey, let me take over your master lease. Here's $10,000. Let me just take over.
Yeah.
I'm done. Right? Now you got it. You just got to sit and wait for a month or two, and now you up to something making $50,000-$60,000 a month when things turn around.
Major stuff.
Right?
Man.
Value add, Glenn.
Yes, indeed. We got Sterling Anderson on.
What up, fam? What up, fam?
Hey,
Mr. Multifamily in the building.
He must have heard you say multifamily, and he jumped on, because that's definitely his game right there. Real stuff. Hey, so let me ask you this. We're gonna get it. Again, now because we got on late, we got on a little bit later than we ordinarily would get on. We're gonna ride this out as long as you got time.
Yo, I just got to get my charger, man. Get my charger lined up somewhere. But we good. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay. So what advice would you give somebody who is now? You gave like I said again, you gave some major stuff. So if I'm coming off the bench, just getting in the game, I'm hearing all this stuff about how the market is going to shift, the market is going to change, and I want to get in, but I have no money. Right? What do I do on day one?
Find the opportunity first and be able to communicate that it is value added. Like, we're buying a shopping center. We're buying this here for something pennies on the dollar. And if you invest with me, I'm going to give you X, Y, Z. That's it. That's the most important. People want to know, does it make sense? Everything up. So put together your structure of what you're going to buy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm buying everything. Like, you find a team of investors. Watch this. You'll say, listen, I'm buying houses that I'm able to buy and rehab. I'm going to be all in at 50%.
Yeah.
And it's going to cash flow.
Yeah.
And a great area. Right? That's it. That's my formula. And I want to pay you off within 12 months. Right?
Wow.
You can literally do that easier, because I have people right now doing 70-75%. Right? Today. Sub 10%. If you're a real estate investor, have properties anywhere, I don't care what your credit score is. If you own something, we can refinance and pull money out. And so you too can be a cash person. Or you too can take your money out and lend to someone else with 10, 12, 15%. Like right now, because of the COVID-19, the CARES Act, people could pull money out their 401k and not be penalized. So now you got all these teachers and police officers and people like figuring, my money's going down. Listen, don't sweat that. Don't sweat that. What if I could show you how you can make $30,000 in the next 3 months? Would you be interested? and just shut up.
Absolutely.
What if, right? What's wrong with that? What if I could take your $100,000 and make it 300,000? Would that be of interest when everyone else is losing money in the market? Remember, so if you have a blueprint, if you follow the leader, right? You're not flying blind out there. You win. Lots of people with money, right? Don't get it twisted. It's not a woe is we market, right?
Right.
If you're savvy, if you've been through it, if you could find somebody like Glenn or find somebody like Sterling, someone who's been through it, Ramon, right? Someone who's been through it before, right? And who can find value, you're gonna win.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like we should never. I mean, realtors, they want to make money. Go find me something that's been stagnant. Go. Listen, you should be looking on auction houses. If you were in DC right now, I'm telling you. I mean, dude, I would say focus on auction houses. Online, auction.com. Find places that they're struggling to get rid of properties.
Wow.
Sales right now are declining. Right? Sales are declining. Like right now. A lot of traditional lenders are like, listen, if you don't have 700 score and 20% down, I can't see you.
I saw that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And you know what else they're saying, Glenn? They're saying to people, watch this. They're saying, or if you're not an essential employee, even though you might have money in the bank and great credit and you met all the other requirements, if you cannot prove to us that you are an essential employee, a doctor, a scientist working in COVID, or a government agency who's never going to, then guess what? They're not financing you.
Right.
So people who are expecting to sell, they're going to lose. They're losing out.
So that's why you mentioned that we definitely need to get liquid because of those requirements. That's gonna, some people that are paying attention to those things, there's been some talk about possibly holding off, for the fix and flip investor like myself, or like I once was, because I'm not doing a whole lot of that now. That might be something that the fix and flip investor might want to pay attention to, because that buying pool of people is going to shrink significantly with those type of requirements. What would you say to that?
I'd say act now, think later. Right?
Okay.
Act now, think later. Watch this. What if say you have somebody who had 10 properties, like I do, that has $3 million in value? What would you tell them to do? Act now. What would you tell them? Sit tight and wait for everything? No. You know why? Because your 10 properties, right? They all have tenants, by the way.
Yeah.
The value is going to go from $3 million to what, Glenn? To $1.5 million?
Right.
If you can cash out and get 60% equity, I mean, get a loan for 50%, right? Now you have 1.5. With that 1.5, you should be able to buy $5 million in property.
Right.
So now, so should you really just be sitting on the sideline right now, or should you trying to get liquid, right? Or line it up? I would say, yeah, there are things we should be doing. Like I would call your credit card company and say, hey, can I get an additional advance? Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. Why not?
And a lot of them are doing that. A lot of them are extending those advances as well. Yeah.
I will find my doctors. I will find my lawyers. I will find teachers. Teachers are home now. Teachers on the verge of retiring. Hey, would you be interested in making some additional money? Would you love to join me in real estate? Would you love to join me in buying this restaurant? Like I know a restaurant, right? We have ownership in a restaurant on the water in New York, right? You know what we're doing, Glenn? There's a lack of ingenuity. We said, okay, fine. What we're gonna do, we shut down before, and we started going from the small plates to making weekly meals, right? But now we're meal prepping. Caribbean, come by and grab a week's worth of food.
Wow.
For $100. Family food. I'm spinning, right?
That's real
stuff.
So
it's thinking outside the box. Like you go down now, and every opportunity that you're thinking in real estate, go for it. Don't be scared. And the big thing is, Glenn, cream. I'm from New York, so we got a little hip hop in me, right? Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Get the money. Dollar bill, right? Right? So listen, as liquid as you can get, as quick as you can get, start forming alliances, start looking at opportunities. If it's Craigslist, if it's whatever, if it's Meetup, if it's creating your own podcast. Like literally, what I've tripled down. I bought a master class the other day,
Mm-hmm.
or master class. I want to figure out how to create content. I spent almost a G on social media marketing. I spent about $4,000 on green screens and lighting, and like, yo, we're doubling down on this information. We're creating content,
Yeah.
and we're gonna sell online. Like there's a Chris Bruce. I think he's in Tampa. He sells virtual. Everyone should be virtual right now, right? And
Right.
everything that you do and say and meet, you ought to be having 10, 15 meetings a week,
Right.
right? With
Right.
real estate investors around the country. Where they at? They're home, waiting to talk to you.
Right.
Bring opportunities to them. If you can find opportunities, you go online and find the people with the money. Public records is public records, right? You
Real
can find
stuff.
who the buyers are. You can find who, you have more time than ever to go online and check out probate, right? Just find deals.
Real stuff. Real stuff. Man, hey, listen, bro. Beecher says good ideas. Good ideas. So let's get into a little bit, man. Look, I don't want to change gears, man, because we 100 miles already where we at right now. But let's talk about what I'm trying to get to where you are, man. On so many levels. But 5-time best-selling author. How do we get, man? How do we get to one book? What do we do, man? I mean, I don't expect you to give me the jewels that you gave me the other day when we talked, because that right there that changed the whole trajectory of what I'm looking at doing in terms of writing a book. But what would you say to the person that's looking at, they got a lot of stuff, a lot of information on the inside? Even your Facebook post, man, that I read, I'm like, that is real author material. How do I get out of my head and on the paper a best-selling book? How do I do that?
Well, you know what? The easiest thing, a lot of people get confused, Glenn, about writing a book. Scratch that. It's not about writing a book. It's about being a compelling storyteller, right? Whether it's via your podcast, whether it's via me interviewing you and just telling me a story, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's me sitting down having a conversation, it's always, how do you tell a compelling story? And then how it translates. That's the first thing, right? So as we have this conversation here, I'm a special guest of yours. We could take this information, strip the audio, take the audio to text, and now you have a chapter of information.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow.
What are we talking about, right? He without vision perishes, right? Like, it's easy. With technology, you can get an app and translate it. And so how do you tell a compelling story? So the first thing I would say is not about you. It's not about you, Glenn. It's not about me. What is it that you have inside that you can bless the world with? So if you want to tell your story, and if it doesn't benefit me, so what's in it for that writer? What's in it for that reader?
Yeah.
How are you going to dramatically shift their life, the trajectory of their vision, right? If you have a story that they're reading, that they're immersed in, and they no longer see Glenn's story, is my story in it. And when you're falling down, Glenn, they're diving down saying, no, we have to save Glenn. Now it's
wow.
no longer your story. It's everyone's story. What universal pain do you have? Glenn, I told you about $100 million. I lost on my last book. I wrote a devotional. What's it called? It's called Give Us This Day, the devotional for entrepreneurs, a toolkit for overcomers. That was about pain.
Right.
I was able to share my pain and how I overcame. Like, I was mad at God. God, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's your fault, God. It wasn't my fault. But then as you came, listen, everyone goes through something. Everyone takes it out. I talked about how I got divorced and lost a $25 million real estate empire. That was humbling. Right. Yo, I bounced back. I mean, we got 10 books. To be honest with you, Glenn, 10. And I probably coached another 50 different authors, right? I wasn't doing this 10 years ago. Right. But I could tell that story of how I took it out. It's not about falling down. It's about how we get back up, right?
Yes, real talk.
And watch this. And again, if you could able to joint venture with somebody, you can win. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to have the expertise. All you have to do is have a compelling opportunity for someone and show them how they too can win. And
Mm.
you have all the money in the world for people to partner with you. So sharing that compelling story, when I write, I try to make every page a bestseller, Glenn.
Wow.
Right? Every
Wow.
page. So I want you arguing with yourself. Am I going to stay on the page I'm on, or do I go back to the next page and get more meat? Right? That's
Right.
how you
Right.
got to write.
Yeah.
Don't cheat the reader. Like, pull up your skirt, show the hem of your garment. Yeah, like, be vulnerable, right? Like,
Right.
if I'm writing a book saying, I'm all that, I'm not going to win. Like, I had to show how I lost, how I was almost killed, how I lost big money, how took. Listen, it's okay to lose, but the power is when you get back up. You might have lost before. You might have lost every deal you tried to do this year, but don't give up. Don't quit. My man Charles Blair, he runs the largest RIA in the country, or the second largest. I interviewed him when I had a podcast once.
Uh-huh.
Watch this. He said he tried for 24 months to close the deal, and he did nothing. When he finally closed his first deal, he was doing it full time, bro. When he finally closed his first deal, his take home was $250 after all expenses.
Wow. Wow.
Right? Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit.
Real stuff.
Don't be rate smart and deal empty. 2 years later, he was the largest minority real estate holder in downtown Baltimore. Don't quit. One thing I
Wow.
always tell people is to chase their dream. One thing I'm going to tell you is to find someone who has the skill that you have, that you want, and bring value to them. Don't say, come train me. Hey, say, how can I partner and bring value to your organization, Ed,
Right.
or Glenn, or Ramon? How can I bring value? What can I do to make your life easier?
Right. Right.
How
Right.
can I
Right.
be your virtual assistant and learn?
Real talk. Real
Right?
talk.
If
Man.
you could do that, you have so many people who want to partner with you. Give people value, and they'll never give you up. They be
Man.
fighting for you, bro. They be fighting. Yeah, you can find me an apartment complex or a chain of restaurants or a hotel right now or assisted living facility. I've had the ability, watch this. Don't think small. You know what? Donald Trump, I'm not a big Donald Trump fan, but I can tell you one thing he wrote.
Mm.
Um, he said, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big.
Might as well
So,
think big. Right.
so watch this. Don't give up. Like when I first got into banking, I listen. I tried 31 times to get into the top rated banking program in the country. 31 times they turned me down. I was like, listen, I am going to stay on these guys until they give me a job. Like,
Mm.
yo, I was relentless. I got accepted into the bank training program,
Mm.
right? Within 2 years, I was traveling around the country. I was in Atlanta. I was in Clearwater, Nashville, Birmingham, teaching bank presidents how to structure deals, all because I didn't give up. The salary they offered me, Glenn, was $23,000. I was freaking insulted,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
When I left the banking industry as a commercial lender, as a commercial credit review officer, the first deal I did when funding, it was $35,000. Yo, play the long game.
Right.
Play the long game, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I've had deals that make over 100,000, $1
Wow.
million in deals, right? Yo, partner with someone who knows more than you. Don't think small, think big, and joint venture,
Real stuff.
right?
Real stuff. Real stuff. And, that's something that I've learned for years, man. And my man Brian Jubert says it best. He said, collaboration beats competition all day long. I give him credit for it this time because I told him, most quotes like some of yours, I'm gonna give you credit for the first time, but the next time it's mine.
I got you. I love it. I love it.
But yeah, man, it's stuff like that I think a lot of times we miss the opportunity in being able to create a significant amount of value for a larger group of people, because most of the time we're trying to do it all on our own. And we don't look at opportunities to join with other people and create that value that's missing in the marketplace.
Hey, Glenn, can I tell you something incredibly embarrassing?
Yeah.
So back in the days, I was funding everything all across the country, right? I was a bad dude, right? So I had a few Indian guys come up to me and say, Ed, can you finance a hotel? Got you. Gas station, no problem. C-store, no problem. Subway franchise, I got you. We did this for about 5 years straight. Everything they got commercial, they brought it to my house, and we got done. to my group. We were kicking butt, right? Like, so I was at Sensei, and they were my white belt. Watch this, Glenn. Can you imagine this? A few years later, they rolled up on me and said, "Ed, do you want to join our firm?" I was insulted. Like, who? When does a Sensei ever follow a white belt? I was pissed, right? I stomped out their office. Watch this. About a month or two later, I'm seeing a group that's buying, $100 million mortgage for $10 million cash, $30 million hotels for $2 million. These were my interns, right? I turned up my nose. No one ever taught me in my community about the value of joint venturing.
Right.
Glenn, these cats now, they're financing movies, they're financing everything you can imagine, bro. Like, and these were my interns. I'm staying at some of their hotels around the country. They said, Ed, do you want to be 33%? I was like, hell to the no. You know what I'm saying? Like, joint venture. Every deal's not going to be the best deal. Every deal won't work out, right? But don't give up. Bring value, man. Bring value.
Real stuff. Man, listen, you dropping some major stuff, and I want to read. So this is one of my real estate Bibles.
Hey Glenn, I'm gonna go outside for a second and plug this phone in. Is that okay? Can we walk and talk, bro?
Yeah, no doubt. Do your thing. This is one of my real estate Bibles, The Art of the Flip, and a passage in here says, "A word to the wise, flippers in the know buy at 30% to 50% discount, while the average Joe visiting realtors pay slightly at or above market value for property." This is what stood out. Something that you just said. It says patience, understanding, and being at RIA events account for a great deal of success for newbie flippers. And that speaks to that collaboration part that we've been talking about. When you talk about patience, I think that patience is a lost art in what we do. In terms of real estate investing, one of the major things that hit me over the head back in the day when I started studying real estate investing, when people said, don't wait to buy real estate and then wait. You see what I mean? What you just said earlier was do it, then think. Pretty much. You know what I mean? And that's volume for that.
If we could piggyback on experts, or we can just listen. Literally, what I give people in that $35 book. Hey, Glenn, I just left the upstairs. Can you go to something I wrote in the book? It says Eddie's Laws of Rehabbing. Do you have that? Do you have the book in front of you?
Yes,
what
I do.
Book do you have? Do you have The Art of the Flip?
The Art of the Flip. Uh-huh.
So if you can find that, look in the appendix. The Art of Rehabbing. Like guys, I cannot express more than anything else. There's going to be so much money to be made in this market. I had a guy the other day. He said, "Listen, man, he's chomping at the bits. He's literally chomping at the bit. The biggest real estate in the United States right now is the Blackstone Group. You guys familiar with that, Glenn? The Blackstone Group.
Yes,
they became the largest investor because they were buying over $200 million every week."
Right.
For 3 years.
Right.
They own listen. So Glenn, I have a tour called Buy Back the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right, where we go across the country teaching people how to buy back the neighborhood stores and be a developer. And back in the days, people getting 100% to build a CVS, 100% financing. Right, we didn't know that. We had I can get 100% to buy a Starbucks. Right, to be a developer or an owner. The same thing for a Chick-fil-A. Even if I'm not an owner operator, right? We don't know. Like we perish. Like I used to laugh all the time saying we top shelf, right? We want to be top shelf. I said, forget buying out the bar. Buy the bar. Buy the entire plaza. Buy smart. Listen, unless you feel. Listen, in this market, if you pick up nothing else, if you do not feel if you don't feel comfortable, if your stomach doesn't boil a little bit when you make an offer, you're paying too much.
That's what I've always learned. Especially if the person you're making an offer to, if they don't balk about the amount that you're offering, then you definitely offer too much. And
you can't afford to do that. I don't care how good a deal you get. Be one who can execute on the deal, right? Yeah, keep your word and execute, and that person will come back and tell the next one and the next one and the next one. Make them feel that it's a good deal for them. Be able to execute.
My
Like,
partner
don't
on
try to
here.
get the whole sandwich. Yo,
My
share
part,
it.
my
Slice the Subway in half.
true. My partner on here, Pone Baldwin, says game. But I want, and this is, and he said something that I want to speak to. He put a message out before, and we didn't ever get a chance to talk about it. He's from my hometown, little town in Inkster, Michigan, suburb of Detroit. And he put a post out some time ago about buying the gas station in the neighborhood, because a lot of us in our communities don't really own anything. And what I put out was, that's something that we definitely need to be talking about. Can you speak to a situation like that? I see the look on your face. I already know what the game is. A situation like that where there's an opportunity right in the neighborhood. When you talk about buying back the neighborhood, what steps would you take you say to someone that's in the neighborhood where there's opportunities like that? What steps do they take? You've already given us the game, but I want to make sure people that are watching
Okay.
don't miss what you shared with us earlier.
Okay. I have 2 books. Well, I have a bunch of books, right? But 2 books, if they can go to thefundingguide.com, thefundingguide.com. And I would want them to look at 2 particular books, right? If you're looking at businesses, please buy Let Them Eat Cake, right? You
Yes.
Build Wealth.
Yes.
And the other one I want you to pick up is it's Money in the Bank. 7 Insider Secrets to Financing Any Small Biz, right? And that's going to give you the blueprint. It's going to make every lender fall in love with you. They're going to go from giving you the red flag year deals to giving you the red carpet treatment. Bottom
Wow.
line, right?
Wow.
So understanding the numbers. I mean, so if I was come up to you in that gas station, right, and say, it's making $1 million profit a year, right, Glenn? And then you're like, heck yeah, I'll buy it, right?
Right.
But then you got to understand, I don't care what any number says. Why? Always look behind the numbers, right?
Right.
Well,
Right.
what if the number said it was losing $1 million a year? Would you buy it?
Yeah, if it works. I mean,
Right. So understanding the numbers, right? So what if I told you the owner showed a $2 million salary, but then it showed $1 million loss? That means he's literally making over $1 million, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So never always understand the numbers behind something. That's very, very important as far as being financially astute, right?
Definitely.
The second thing is most small businesses, Glenn, they make money hand over finger. I swear to God, they make money hand over finger. But what they don't do is put it in their books. And because we don't put it on paper, we cheat ourselves, we cheat our vision, we cheat our future, we cheat our family, and who cares about the IRS? But the point is this here, right? We're cheating ourselves, right? So many gas station owners are making money hand over finger. I had a club that was once doing $100,000 a week, but on their numbers, the tax return, they showed $700,000 for the year.
Wow.
Like I would go there and I was charged with financing the sucker, right? Like
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan would pay pool for $10,000 a ball, right?
Wow.
This place had a line, VIP parking. It took you an hour to get parked, right?
Wow.
But they only showed 700,000. So when it came time to sell that business, guess what happened? They could only sell for $500,000
Right.
and take back a note,
Right.
Because so what I tell you guys, Brian is an accountant. He's in finance. Listen, we can't play things close to the chest. Share it with our accountants and our tax planners, right? And they will show us, okay, no one wants to pay taxes, but we have to win, right? So you can't seem financially astute when your numbers always show zero profit. So it's very important. Get with your tax person and get with your banker before we do a deal. The second thing is not what you know, it's what you can prove, right? So be able to show on paper that you can afford to buy another business. You can afford to do that gas station, right? So I would love to do every gas station. Let's go to hotels. 65% of the hotels in this country are owned by Indian Americans, right? People from India. Listen, it doesn't take a PhD. It doesn't take an MD. It doesn't take a BA. It doesn't take a CNA. Shout out to the CNAs who are doing a great job.
Definitely.
It doesn't take any of that. All it takes is a freaking stinking green card. A green card, and so you say that you ran the front desk for 2 years at a hotel, and I can get you in a 50 or 60 unit hotel. Uncle would deliver the 10% down, and then the SBA would give you 90%. What are we talking about? Why does that they're one 0.3% of the population, but they own 65% of the hotels, over $100 billion. All up in
Wow.
your neighborhood. Let's go to gas stations, right? The
Mhm.
gas stations. Everyone comes and sees it as a viable in the inner city or urban America as an emerging opportunity, except for us. You
Mhm.
can get 90 to 95% funding, right? On the gas station.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not do it? Like everyone needs gas, at least right now, right?
True.
Why
True.
should we not invest in it? And why not add value added additional profit centers, right?
Right.
Like everyone is eating in our neighborhood except for us. Like I want to be a part of it.
He said.
Like the inner city for 50 years, Glenn, watch this. For 50 years, there was no money put in the inner city, right? Then something came out in 1977 called the CRA, Community Reinvestment Act. And all those monies and grants were given to people to buy back the neighborhood. They say you want to hire something from black people, put it
Put it in a
in
book.
a book, right? So everyone else came in our community and they're using still these CRAs and community grants and stuff to buy back our neighborhood.
Wow. Wow. And he said this gas station that we talked about a little while back, he said it's still boarded up. I thought it was open, so I didn't know it was boarded up. But first thing to do is
Can I
find out
leave
who
something
owns
real
it.
quick?
Say it again.
Yeah, the first thing is you can find out who owns it
Uh-huh.
and find out. You can go online to see if there are any environmental concerns. Right.
Right.
So if you're buying an environmental concern at a gas station or a dry cleaner, even if you pay $1 for it, someone gives you free. Now you own that whole liability. But if it's a clean gas station, you win. Right? You win it.
Mhm.
There are agencies that right now with the government who would pay for cleanup.
Right.
Definitely, if it makes sense, buy the gas station, buy a plaza, right? Do it. Do it if it makes sense. But this just don't be brick and mortar anymore, right? Have
Right.
ability to connect with them online and offline, right? So
Absolutely.
your numbers never stop. Your numbers
Definitely.
never stop.
That's and that's a major thing that you said, because this whole situation actually helps us to wise up. What you said is something that people should be really paying attention to, is not only being brick and mortar anymore. We definitely need to be in position to be able to be online and connect with people from different avenues, as opposed to just walking inside the store.
Yo, like right now, there's no reason why we shouldn't be connecting with people on Wall Street right now to give us money. Go to LinkedIn. Hey, I have great opportunities. And maybe just not just say ask for money. Go in there, join groups, and see who's actually doing deals. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm new. I'm looking for opportunities. Are there any people that you could recommend? Bring value.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Those guys are sitting there with a pool of money. Right?
Yeah.
When I told this guy I told the guy I lost $100 million. He laughed. He said, "Listen, you used to be when you come out this thing, if you're not making 500 million to a billion, Eddie, you wasted your time." Glenn, if we're not making significant money in this market and this down cycle, then we wasting our time.
So two things. I want to do actually three things now. First, tell us the name of your books. I think I got two of them. So I need to get the other ones that you have. So let them eat the cake. Tell us. I know we have The Art of the Flip. Tell us the rest.
The art of flip. The art of flip. Many people think is really about buying, flipping property. No, it's about flipping your mindset.
Right.
How do you get into real estate? How do you find? I give you a blueprint on how to find wholesale property, bro. Like literally, that's $1 million book for $35. Right?
Here's the thing.
Someone complained at $35, and I said, "Damn it, I'm gonna increase it to $1,000." And I did not blink an eye. I know the value.
Absolutely. One of my marketing mentors, he has a book, man. I think it's about 100 pages, and he sold it. He sells it for $100. And I think people miss the concept of that, because they don't understand the value behind what you're offering. And I gladly paid for this book. And one thing you said is not just about flipping. There's a passage in here that says, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." And brother, if you didn't tell us how to do that in this whole segment right here, it's a lot of the things that you said, that you shared with us, are invisible to us. Like we're the concept of going into some place and like you said, adding value and not having anything a whole lot of times, and being able to turn a situation around and become a winner. That's major. And that's how I started my whole real estate career, pretty much. And shout out to Pone one more time. Shout out to Pone. Um, I tell the story of the friend whose couch that I was sleeping on, that I woke up in the middle of the night and saw the Carlton Sheets commercial that made me buy the Carlton Sheets course. What people don't know is the friend whose couch I was sleeping on in his mom's basement was my man Pone Baldwin. So shout out to Pone Baldwin, is where I got my spark of interest for real estate investing from sleeping on his mom's couch in the basement. But tell us the rest of the books, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. So one is called The Art of the Flip. It teaches you how to figure out whether it's a good deal, finance it, and then flip if necessary any type of business and or piece of commercial property. Mm-hmm. Everything should be wholesale in right now in this market, please. And I teach you how to finance. I tell you who lenders are, right? Yeah. I tell you how to structure it. How do you pitch them? How do you find them? How do you get private money? How do you get people 401ks? Like, yo, it's a blueprint to making mega millions, bro. Wow. And right now is the best time, right? Right now is the best time ever. So I would definitely, I couldn't, listen, even if you're not interested, buy it for the information. I tell you about a site called 123 Employee. We talked about that last week, where you can pay someone $3,000 an hour to be your social media marketing virtual assistant. They could do all your outbound cold calling right now for $3 an hour. For $500 a month, you got a full-time person just building your business for you.
Right. Right.
I tell you, I can get you the website built for $150. I'll tell you the best websites and stuff on how you connect with people to give you their property. So it's a blueprint. People are like, yo, Eddie, it's too much information. Where do you start? You know, they say the journey to 1,000 steps begins with the first one, bro. Take action.
1,000 miles begins with the first step. Real talk. And these are times, man, where you know, somebody actually posted something that said, you know, a lot of people are resting and relaxing, and yeah, these are times where some of that, you know, we need to get our minds right. But for the most part, in this type of season, it's opportunity where I say the playing fields have been leveled. And it's those of us that take the time and take advantage of this downtime, call it that, take advantage of this downtime and strap our, you know, as they say, strap our boots on, you know, and really get into the games where we might not even been paying attention to before.
Hey, check this out. My dude, Eric Thomas, y'all know him, E.T. the hip hop preacher. And one thing he talked about, you know, we've done lots of shows. We helped him kick off his career, right? Building, creating content. And one thing he told me before, he said, listen, don't get ready, be ready. Definitely. If you guys are waiting for the market to come back, that's fool's gold. That's fool's gold. Yeah. You're never going to get better than right now, right? Never going to get better. Take action now, right? Real Take action now. Don't get ready, be ready, right? Know how to analyze a deal. Know how to pitch a lender, right? Know how to find that lender. Know how to find value, right? Know how to communicate with a seller to sell you the property, right? Know how to find a hard money lender. Know how to find the bankruptcy attorneys. Know how to find the trustees. Like, know who the bankruptcy associations are. Create your own RIA online right now, today, right? Wow. Deals need to be done right now. Why can't we do that? Like, can I tell you a one book? Like, I think my books rock. Like, I tell people, if you enjoyed Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you were moved by Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you were moved by Who Moved the Cheese, you got to get these books, yo. Like, Business Credit Made Ridiculously Simple online is an audio book. Teach you how to set up your LLCs. Like, teach you how to be a real business, right? How do you set up your business is a 45-minute audio book. You know, Glenn, can I tell you right now? So, you know, 50% of my business is real estate. The other 50% of my business is non-real estate transactions, right? We do government contracts and stuff like that there. So we purchase orders, you know, lines of credit for acquisitions, things of that nature. Glenn. Right. So we have right now in the market, we have with the CARES Act, we have something called PPP, payroll protection. Glenn, I cannot tell you how many people who are making money hand over finger never paid themselves payroll, right?
Right.
Right? They never did payroll. And so now when they could probably be getting what's called, like, I have one company right now. They called me up yesterday. They're doing $3 million a month in payroll. So literally they can get $3 million and a half. So literally $3 million for 1 month, $3 million for the next month, and, you know, $1.5 million. That's $7.5 million they can get free. Bro, that's free money. Most of us are not going to qualify for it because what? We don't show numbers.
Right.
We making money. We write every freaking thing off, right? We're not. Man? Basically, we're in the hobby business. We ain't in the home business. We're in the hobby business because we don't seem like that on paper, right?
Yeah.
So many of us are missing out on that. Another thing,
Story.
right? Everyone should be applying for the other one for self-employed people, right? Y'all should be doing that. Apply, get that little $10,000. I don't have money to. Apply for the $10,000. Even if even if you're a strugglepreneur, if you file your taxes in 2018 or 2019, whatever, right?
What's that? What's that? What now? What's that word?
Strugglepreneur, man. Hey, Glenn, man, we out there, man. I got some sayings, bro. Strugglepreneur. I'm getting ready to. I can't. You start more businesses than you. You know what I'm saying? You out.
Yeah.
Slumberpreneur. You sleeping on opportunities. I mean, come on. What we talking about, man? Right? We should listen. Even if you do that, you can use your $10,000 for the SBA grant. Use that money you get in 3 weeks to buy your first property, right? Or get 10 other people who are in business and say, hey, let's all use this for $100,000 in equity and buy $1 million property.
Man.
Huh?
Man.
Like, why can't you go online and say that? Why can't we start a Facebook group to say, hey, emerging real estate investors, we want 10 people, 100 people to give their 10,000, whatever, right? And see, let's buy this plaza.
Right.
Why not? Like, I got a doctor who's making more money than he ever did before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to use that $200,000 that he gets from his payroll to buy another practice. I have a dentist right now, and she was crying and crying. I said, listen, don't worry about it. So this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to buy. You have one practice now. We're going to get liquid. You have a $200,000 equity in your house. You have another line of credit. You have this here. By the end of this thing, we want to buy 5 dental practices. A lot of those suckers are going to be out of business, right? We want 5 additional ones, right? Because we know our numbers, right?
Real stuff, man. So tell the folks, man, how all right, let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about buy back the neighborhood, and what else you got going on? What else is happening in the amazing life of Mr. Edward Felder?
Man,
shout out to your brother, man. I had a quote from him today too, but tell us what else you got going on, man.
Man, so as far as deals, so we just finished up the 100% funding for a group, out in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're working on doing what I did last time. I'm reaching out to hard money lenders and banks who have to get off some liquidity, right?
Good stuff.
There's small banks out there who want to get off these properties, and I want to be that partner, right? That's what I'm doing. I have a guy right now where we're raising private money. He's going to be the first Black biotech building in Baltimore. So he's going to be able to have 30 researchers and people doing different designs in the facility. So first of its kind in the country, first Black guy, and we're putting that together. We're raising private capital for that.
Wow. Great.
Right, like so deals like that. I mean, so that's going to be a no-brainer, right? So people who are vacant, people who are hurting before. Imagine the investor, even if they're doing good, now they're losing their other business, right? They're going to want to get in. I remember when I was in Tampa, I had a guy who was an electrician, right?
Mm-hmm.
His business shut down for like 3 years, and guess what? He lost. Not only did he lose that, he lost $200 million in property. Good God Almighty!
Wow!
Right?
Wow!
So he took an L in one thing, and he then could not afford to carry on those other notes and stuff he had going on.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, find people who are in business and they're gonna want to get out right now.
Wow!
Right?
Wow!
Find people who want to get in business and be financially, really astute. Right? Again, I have people doing 80% funding. I have people probably still doing 100% funding on fix and flips. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I say take advantage of it now. Get liquid. That's what I would say.
That's what's up.
And go and just don't get the money. Go out there and don't get 100. I mean, when you want to refinance something, if you can pull out 60%, great. Pull out 60%, leave the other little money in there, right?
Right.
Because and then go out there and find opportunities, right? People are gonna know what are you gonna do with the money. Well, I had 3 or 4 deals in the area I'm looking at. I was negotiating for 100,000. Now they're down at 25,000. I want to pick up a few of them.
Real talk.
Right?
Man, great stuff. Ed, listen, You dropped some major stuff on us today, man. And listen, I have taken a lot of notes today. I will be going back to the drawing board on some stuff that I'm working on. And listen, man, thank you very much for taking the time to spend with us today and share.
Hey, before I leave, can I hit y'all with some more gems? If y'all are really serious about this here, study zoning. Study zoning. Everyone knows what zoning. Like we're doing a deal right now in California with the zoning. We have 5 houses in a row, right? Or a two block area, right? And one house right next door to each other. They're both 800 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, right? One is zoned in R3, and R3 will allow us to knock that down and build 11 units in California, right? It'll cost $1.5 million, and it'll be worth $6 million. The house right next door is also 800 square feet. Is zoned in R1. It will allow you to push back and give you 800 additional square feet.
Wow.
Right? Know your zoning. Like that's how Brooklyn changed, guys. So like they changed all of Brooklyn, and they changed it from warehouse to residential, and all the other people came in and bought and built condos. Focus on where the zoning is changing. So you should be able to buy land. Like there's vacant land downtown that's multifamily. Like what is always the highest and best use? Go out there right now. The city is going to be giving away land. Go to the city. What do you have? Can we change the zoning? Or can we do by right? What can we do by right? Something else we could do. What Ray and them did last year, they built a 10 unit, a 20 unit. Even right now, go out there and take a picture. Click, click. And what do you have, Glenn? You have that developer's entire playbook. Who his architect was, who his engineer was, who his contractor was, who his plumbing was. What he took 2 years to do, you can get in 3 snaps. And now you can go right back out and buy your piece of land downtown, and all those guys are gonna be thirsty to do business.
Right. Go out to the construction site, get that information, and have that information ready when you put your package together for the people that's gonna be working with you to do your construction project. When you present it to your investors, man, bruh. Yeah, I'm taking notes.
Playbook. That's game recognized game. Hey, so listen, listen, man, Glenn, I'm so excited to spend some time with you guys. I hope we added some value. Man. If there are any more specific questions about funding of a business, right now, if you have a viable business that can be bought, the SBA will give you 90 to 100% funding, and the sweet part about it, Glenn, there's no payments for 6 months.
Whoa.
No, they will cover your next 6 months worth of payments. So what if there is a medical practice you want to buy or something that's still viable, right? If it makes still sense, you can expect no payments for 6 months.
Wow.
How cool is that? I'm sorry, Glenn. Yeah. Right. And there are other investors who will come out of pocket if you got good deals right now. So don't sit back in the cut and watch. Yo, don't be a spectator when everyone is buying your neighborhood. Yo, get in the game.
So tell us a little bit about we got Danny Bailey Jr. says Ed has a wealth of knowledge. Man, bro,
what up, fam?
If y'all ain't figured it out by now, watching this show, boy. what's Buy Back the Neighborhood? Tell us a little bit about that before we go.
Buy Back the Neighborhood, yo. When I was a banker, I financed everybody who would come in the urban markets, whether it was a strip mall, there would be the Vietnamese. Vietnamese own 60% of all nail salons in the country, right? All in our community, we rush in there, right? But we're not patronizing ourselves. No one ever taught us game on how to develop it, right?
Right.
So it's like and this is I just spoke not too long ago at the Black Hair Expo. I was a keynote speaker. Watch this, Glenn, and this should be our game plan, right? Our game plan. 2 examples, Glenn. Vietnam. It was back in the 1970s, right? It was a movie called The Birds, right? John Hancock, whatever the guy's name is, right? He did the movie, right? And it was a white lady, blue eyes, blonde hair, long fingernails, and she said, I want to rescue all the Vietnamese people out there, right? I want to get back to the Vietnamese. And she went to Sacramento. She said, let me go to Sacramento and teach the Vietnamese. So she went there. You wanna learn to sew, you wanna learn dance, you wanna learn cook. And as she's speaking with her fingernails, watch this. They saw her lovely fingernails and said, we want to do fingernails. So she came back 2 weeks later, and her person taught 20 Vietnamese how to do nails. That 20 taught 200, that 200 taught 2,000, that 2,000, 20,000, and that 20,000 taught 200,000 to the market. and 80% in California and 60% nationwide. In that market is Vietnamese, right?
Wow.
They came and bought the neighborhood. They saw value when we didn't see value, right?
Mm.
And they were not scared to share the information with each other. The
Wow.
same thing in if you went to Baltimore, right? It's a place in a restaurant called Hip Hop Chicken and Waffles. Bro, I was downtown. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get some soul food. I ran up in there. It was owned by Afghanis. I was like, holy cow. They have 30 locations in Baltimore and DC, right? Hip Hop Chicken and Waffles.
Wow. Okay.
In New York City, there's over 1,000 Kennedy Fried Chickens. They sell pizza, they sell soul food, the whole thing, and it's owned by Afghanis. And when they came to America, and they started importing, they started going into urban communities by train stations, right? And they said, "What do black people love?" John F. Kennedy. So they named it Kennedy Fried Chicken. So if you're an Afghani person, you want to come in and start a restaurant, it's not even a franchise, and they'll teach you from soup to nuts how to do a Kennedy Fried Chicken. All in our neighborhood, bro. And we're giving them money, whether it's gas stations or everything else. Chinese restaurants. I mean, there's one black nationwide really Chinese restaurant, Golden Crush, and they kind of went under, right? But why now is the time for us to be going and getting these leases and to be partnering and scaling. 99% of black businesses all have the same number of employees. One. Because we're not joint venturing. So my goal is buy back the neighborhoods, going to the communities and getting government and local investors to say, hey, because of CRA, there's money out there for us to buy. We have incentives for us to buy. We just need to be able to point out to the people, this is what I want to buy. This is why it makes sense. And this is how you get your money back. Like literally, you can go in there. I mean, go in there and buy historic buildings, Glenn. You can get the state will give you 20%, the federal government will give you 25%. So you buy a historical building, 45% of your cost is already taken.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Are you getting me? There's money right now. I could tell people if you're environmental, you can save money on electricity and mechanical and stuff like that. There's people who will give you 20% equity, 20% of the after repair value for brand new construction. So for equity, bro, equity.
Wow.
Like if you're doing a apartment complex, right? Imagine if you find somebody who could bring 20% equity, right? I got that, bro.
Yeah.
Just find opportunity. Show me why it makes sense and we can make money. If it makes sense, it should make money, right?
Definitely.
Like we should not be standing on the sideline. City contracts, like almost every entity, these federal, state, federal, and local, they have set-asides for you to take land and develop, right? We're not taking advantage of it. Someone else is coming and getting it.
Man. Amazing. Man, listen, this show is one for the books right here, bro. I got to go back and watch this like 3 or 4 times because I noticed some additional notes that I might have missed.
Nah, man, don't watch it that many times. You call me back, let me do it again. We could be more specific. We could be more niche. Why do I have a guy right now who's getting ready to do with the city of Houston, getting ready to get dumped? Well, never mind. An entity in Houston, right? He's selling masks, and I'm going to finance his purchase order, right? To do a bunch of masks over there. Like in the midst of mayhem and madness, there's always opportunity, Glenn. Please, y'all, don't not put your head in the sand. Don't rely on the 100. Don't rely on the 1,200. Don't rely on the 10,000. Eat, man. Let them. You know what I said? Don't let everyone else eat. You eat in your neighborhood, man. It's time for us to win. No more second-class citizen, Glenn.
Man, listen, we're gonna have
give me a call
for the podcast. And I got to tell the folks about the podcast that we got coming up. We're gonna be doing a podcast together. The new podcast, for those of you who don't know, is gonna be Prime Time with Mr. Dollar Out of a Dime, and we're gonna have like my man Ed Felder, who will be coming on and sharing these types of nuggets and these types of jewels with us. So keep your eyes and ears open for Prime Time with Mr. Dollar Out of a Dime. Listen, man, thank you. Like this, listen, bro. Look, if I had a button that I could press to get an applause for you for the day, man, I definitely do.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all can. Hey, I'm a poor guy, man. Cash at me at thefundingguy.com. But no, seriously, listen. So literally over last week, I spent $5,000 reinvesting in myself. Like double down, quadruple down in your future. Your family needs it, man. So listen, the blueprint for really buying wholesale property and commercial is the art of the flip. If you want to know how to get that lender to fall in love with you, that book is called It's Money in the Bank. If you want to learn how to build business credit right now, unsecured credit in your business name only, that book is called Business Credit Made Ridiculously Simple. Right? If you want to work with us one-on-one, you can contact Glenn or myself, and we can customize a program for you. Right? Like, there's no reason why you should be sitting, still fishing in the background talking about you want to swim with the sharks and you back there getting guppies and worms, man. Yo, there's too much opportunity out there. Let's eat, man. Everybody eats. Everybody eats, man. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Shout out to
everybody eats.
Shout out the grind guy. Everybody eats.
Yo, tell him much love. I love that. Everybody eats, man. Yo, and get with people like him and Glenn, Ramon. Let's do business, man.
Real talk. Hey, man, we're gonna be doing some major stuff together, man. Listen, you've turned some light bulbs on in my head that I've probably been a little dim for a while. But listen, man, it's always a pleasure, man. It's always great to talk to you. And like I said, man, you've ignited some stuff in me, man, that I'm really gonna be implementing. And we're gonna spend a lot of time on the phone. So hopefully I can get on your schedule and get a little piece of the corner of your calendar. And
Glenn, all I have to say for every listener out there, I'm so indebted to you for this platform. From we talked about this 2 years ago, Glenn. I said, Glenn, go for it. You executed, right? You executed. Don't get ready. Be ready, man.
Be ready. Stay ready. I have to think. So, for people like you, man, to come on a show like this, I got to lay it out for you, bro. So I've been building to get to the point to get people prepared for what you was going to bring today. So I'm sorry it took that long, but hey, listen, what you brought today, man, was monumental. And I think I can speak for most of the people that have watched this show today, man. And again, thank you. Hey,
Glenn, can I say one last thing?
Yes, sir.
Yo, I want everyone to birth their dream. If you don't have the money, you have opportunity hiding in plain sight. Call Glenn. Call Glenn. We would love to partner and joint venture with you. I tell everyone to birth their dream. Wake up 15 minutes early every day and write down your dream. Yeah. I don't care. So many of you guys started the year with a vision plan. Rip it up. And all I want you to focus right now every day is get a little sticky pad. Finish, done, completed. Right? Yeah. So now your impossible is now the inevitable in real estate and in business and for your family. Invest in you and you will win.
Absolutely. Check out thefundingguy.com. Buy the books. I'm going to get the rest of my collection. Again, thank you, man. I can't thank you enough for spending this time with us today. And listen, we on the calendar for tomorrow, to make that podcast happen. So
let's do it, man.
So again, thank you for the viewers that are watching. Again, shout out to Ed Felder. Go check out thefundingguy.com and make sure you guys get the book. My man Armand Wright says, great show. He said this should go viral. Hey, Armand, listen, that's one of the things I didn't mention. I've been sitting here in awe for so long. For those of you that are watching, like this video, share this video. Hey, listen, Armand, I'm gonna hold you to it. You're gonna be one of the persons that helped me go viral. And Ed, one last thing, man. I know we're gonna probably this show been going on for a while. I have been listening to the book Contagious as well. So that was a nugget that you gave me the other day, man, that I'm just like, whoa.
Listen, tell me about it. So the hip hop guy, he just recently died. What was his name again? Nipsey Hussle. Yeah. He read a book and he said he went from, listen, guys, if you do nothing else, please listen to this one here. Invest in yourself. If you're on Amazon, you get this stuff for free. Nipsey went from could not give away his CD, his mixtape, to listening or reading the book called Contagious, to the week after selling his mixed CD for $100. And he the first day he sold for $100, he made $100,000. Now before he died, he went from selling it for $100 to $1,000. Yo, be phenomenal, as my boy Eric Thomas would say, or be forgotten.
True.
Scam money don't make no money.
Scam money don't make.
Cash moves everything around me. Get the money. Dollar bill. We out, baby. Let's get this money, y'all. Let's get that money.
All right, Ed, man. We'll be talking, man. I'll be in contact with you.
All right, man. Blessings, man. Thank you so much for the platform.
Absolutely.
Extremely grateful, man.
Thank you again.
Thank you, man.